And it's time for Lefties Losing It, and tonight's edition of Lefties will feature some of the ugliness, some of the utter depravity that has followed the murder of Charlie Kirk, a thoroughly...
By the way, I'm going to say this right now. My prayers and thoughts go out to the family of Charlie Kirk and his friends. He will be missed. And mark my words, his death is going to be the rising of something new.
Decent, principled man brutally murdered today, and the soulless ghouls of the left were quick to celebrate.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
That's because you are a disgusting piece of shit.
Charlie Kirk just got shot.
What the hell is that?
Well, breaking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fantafast's favorite 5-mile-wide mouthpieces, Charles Chuckle Kirk.
It looks like you just took the hit off of the meth pipe. What is up with these white liberals that just are demonic? This is demonic. Celebrating somebody's death, especially somebody that all he really tried to do was spread love and the word of God. And he's dead now because of it.
And sadly, the vile left has not been shy about showcasing their ugliness, their utter callous depravity. This is what leftism does to your mind and soul.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good. That's good that people are getting shot just off a political view?
Charlie Kirk gets shot and killed today. We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it. And that's how I feel at this point.
Girl, somebody had to do it. While talking to a man. You know, I just will never understand how these people can go to college and they're supposed to be learning. These are the people of our future, supposedly, right? These people that are in college, right, learning and getting these degrees and trying to become something with themselves. But these are all the people that are literally, and I hate using that word, but it's the truth, literally trying to kill this country.
Time. But
You know, I appreciate your honesty. I truly do. So you said someone had to do it.
yes. Try not to get all pulled up into that, but he was a misogynist. He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs.
Enough of that trash.
He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs. So if he's a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs, then I'm a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs. That means all of the people that follow Charles are disgusting people with disgusting beliefs. That person is saying that all of MAGA are disgusting and have disgusting beliefs because they believe in God and they believe in this country. And he deserves to be dead. That is what they're saying. He deserves to be dead. Because he believes in God and because he is a beautiful person. This is crazy. I am sorry, but this is crazy. that people can come online for the whole world to see and say a man deserves to die. Well, guess what? He is dead now. And his children are going to have to grow up without a father. His wife is going to have to take care of those children without her husband. And his mom and dad, remember, he's a son of somebody's. He was murdered. He was somebody's son, and he was a beautiful person. And I'm only a couple minutes into this, and it hurts to see these disgusting, vile people talking about how he deserved to die. Well, if he deserved to die, then the majority of this country deserves to die. Because believe it or not, more and more people are going MAGA. More and more people are going red. Why? Because they are done with this disgusting loser of people. There's not even a word that can describe these people. I keep saying disgusting because that's what they are, but they're just demonic. Demonic people.
Ash, let's look at how the media professionals covered this tragic event, this act of domestic terrorism. Here is MSNBC.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
Yeah, pretty sure we knew immediately it wasn't that. Charlie Kirk's supporters don't go around shooting their guns in celebration like they're attending some wedding in Iraq. And of course, MSNBC had to engage in victim blaming by calling Charlie divisive.
Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use. Why?
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast.
But that was just...
These are news outlets that millions of people follow and listen to every day. And all they're doing is just spreading lies and misinformation to these sick people.
Stupid. What I'm about to play you is straight out depraved, disgusting commentary. This is Matthew Dowd again on MSNBC, not long after Charlie was shot.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who has constantly...
How has he been divisive, first of all? I'm sorry, I'm pausing it right now. I'll let you listen to this. But how is he a divisive person? If you watch any of his videos, if you watch 90% of his videos, even if you watch 10% of his videos, he is the opposite of divisive. This man stood on the front of democracy. He stood on the front of, instead of being divided, he wanted us to all come together and talk our problems out. Even if we didn't agree with each other, or if we disagreed, or whatever. So you please tell me, fucking Baldy, how this man was divisive. He believed in God. He was a God-bearing man. And he is dead now because of people like you spreading lies.
He's sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, well, you know what? The way we all feel about you, Baldy, you should have been underground freaking years ago. But that's not how we do it. That's not how America is supposed to be ran and lived. Oh, you said some stuff that people didn't like, so that's your fault you're dead now. Well, you should have said it. Well, I don't know. You've said some pretty outrageous stuff, so does that mean that your family needs to suffer now? Your kids need to suffer now? Because you are an idiot and decided to say stupid shit? No, because we live in America. You are allowed to say this stuff. You are allowed to go on TV in front of all these people and say this disgusting stuff about this man that was beautiful. And he's dead now. He's dead now. I'm going to keep saying he's dead now.
Awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment.
And then
we're in.
look, Matt, did you hear that? They were trying to get his ass off of there. Because they're like, he needs to get off. He's saying some pretty ridiculous stuff.
That was so vile, so hateful, and frankly deranged and dangerous that even MSNBC had to take some action, and they've sacked Matthew Dowd, but it's
Good.
MSNBC. He may be back before the end of the month.
I hope not. I hope
And
he's
the
gone
asinine
forever.
commentary wasn't restricted to commentators on MSNBC.
I'll be back.
Governors.
I'll be right. Let's listen to what she's got to say.
And here is the rotund governor of crime-riddled Illinois, blaming President Trump, the man Charlie Kirk worked tirelessly to re-elect. Governor Pritzker blames Donald Trump for fomenting political violence.
Of course.
Political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it.
Did that nincompoop really mention them?
You know what's crazy too is like these Democrats, right? Especially the ones in LA. Unfortunately, that's where I live, but whatever, it is what it is. You know what's unfortunate is these leaders want to sit here and they want to sit and they want to point the finger everywhere else but themselves. If they just took some responsibility, owned up to the stuff that they're creating and doing, and maybe tried to tell these people, hey, you know what, this has gone too far. We cannot be killing our brothers and sisters. But instead of going out and saying something like that, oh, we're just going to blame it on the man that was murdered, and we're going to blame it on the president of the United States because it is Donald Trump. So, just because it's Donald Trump, we disagree, and we want to blame everything on him, even if it's obviously that it's not true, right? It's just what we want to do.
Minnesota shooter, the trans-identified lunatic who shot children in a Catholic school and wanted to kill Donald Trump. Yeah, it's Trump who was almost killed by an assassin's bullet who is to blame for leftist violence, not these lefties losing it.
He insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there, pulling up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
I've had enough. I can't watch any more of this nonsense. I'm sorry. But look, the evidence is here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? If you want to align yourself with the side that is about violence, as in about killing, then go ahead. Be a Democrat. If you want to make America great again, and you want to fight people like this, but not physically, but with words, with policies, legislation, then you need to become a Republican. You need to become one right now. And if you don't want to deal with any of this because you're just a pussy, then be an independent. But I would have more respect for you if you were an independent than if you were a Democrat. I'll say that right now. And you know what? I have family that's Democrats, and I love them to death. But I'm going to tell you right now, this has gone way too far. Stop putting up the blinders, everybody. Stop trying to justify all of the wrong that has been done and that is being done. We need to make a stand. I don't make political videos. This is my first one. But I'm tired of everything that's going on, and I have to just spew. I have to let it out. And somebody has to stand up for this stuff that's going on. And well, if I can go online, say my opinion, and I can show proof and evidence of these people that are doing wrong, these Democrats that think they're on top of the world because of whatever reason. Oh, it's probably because they've been on top of the world for the last, 20, 30 years, maybe longer. Look, there's so much evidence out there. I don't even need to come on here and show it to you. You all have computers. You all have internets. You can look it up yourself. But I am on here because I do believe that I need to have a part in this now. This is historical. The time I live in right now is historical. There will never be a time like this ever in our lifetime, in our lifetime, in any of our lifetimes. The stuff that's going on in 2025 is historical. And I'm going to be on the right side. No pun intended.
Anymore, anywhere.
Let's see if I can maybe pull up some other things that's controversial here. Oh. Here goes something right here.
What are we supposed to do here?
Andrew, how are you?
Quite deeply affected, to be honest.
I read your one of your tweets. There's a few of them. They're pretty strong statements that you've made. One of them says it's not only Charlie. There's a list.
All right, let's
Andrew,
hear
how are you?
what Andrew Tate has to say.
Quite deeply affected, to be honest.
I read your one of your tweets. There's a few of them. They're pretty strong statements that you've made. One of them says it's not only Charlie. There's a list. They're coming for the rest of us. What do you mean by that?
We no longer live in any kind of civilized political discourse. The left and the right are not arguing about interest rates or economic policy. This is a complete different worldview. These people lack spirits and souls, and they believe that anybody who disagrees with them or says a word counter to their narrative deserves a bullet in the neck. This is no longer political discourse. This is a divide which is much larger than most divides, which caused endless wars across the planet. And Charlie Kirk was killed for being the good guy, for being the nice guy. He hasn't been nearly as inflammatory as I have with many subjects. And They believe we deserve death, and they celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk in a disgusting, inhumane manner. Let's not forget, because it's easy to forget, attempts. Not only did they try to kill Trump, but we forget it because they were unsuccessful. They tried to kill Nick Fuentes. We forget it because they were unsuccessful. Did you even know they tried to kill me? Type Andrew Tate knife attack. Last month, somebody put on a high-vis vest pretending to be a builder, trying to get access to my house with a blade. And when he was identified, started slashing randomly because he couldn't kill me. So I'm on a death list also. And the media is spinning and hyper-radicalizing low IQ people into attacking anybody who has a worldview that's different to theirs. The media is absolutely, completely complicit. And I would argue that very few people on the planet had larger voices for the masculine youth than Charlie Kirk. If you want to say some names which are possibly up there, it's myself and Nick, and we've already had attempts on our life. This is disgusting. And this is no longer a political divide. This is no longer about policy. This is about good and evil. This is about right and wrong. This is a war. This is almost an unfixable problem. When people are laughing and celebrating a father dying in front of his children because he disagreed with their worldview, especially when their worldview is wrong. Let's analyze as professionals. If you're going to sit and tell the world that men can be women because they put on a wig, and they believe you deserve a bullet in the neck the second you disagree with them, they are fighting objective reality. You can't agree or disagree with these people. Where is the political solution for people you cannot agree, disagree, conversate, or debate with?
There you go. You know, I don't agree on a lot of things that Andrew Tate, says or does. Okay, I can understand why people don't like him. Okay, I can understand it, right? I understand. However, he makes a lot of good points in this, all right? He does. And he explained it a lot better than I could. I'll tell you that right now. But my whole point in making this video and showing you some of this stuff that's coming from the left and how we feel on the right is I'm a nobody. I'm a Joe Schmo here living my life, okay? But after Charlie died, I just had this feeling in me that there needs to be more fighters out there. There needs to be more people spreading the awareness. We already have a lot of great YouTubers doing it. We have a lot of people in the political realm doing it. There are a lot of people, but there isn't enough. And there was a good point that Andrew said at the end of this segment that I'm trying to show you, is that he said that these people are sick and they disagree with us, right? How are we supposed? What exactly it is? What are we supposed to do as Americans to solve this problem? I don't think there is a solution other than the people, the Democrats, the people in high positions, people that these insane freaking lefties look up to. If they go up and they start saying, look, enough is enough. You guys need to chill out. This is just crazy. We can't be going around killing people just because they don't because they think different than you, because you don't agree with them. Is it normal to just want to cut somebody's head off because you don't you don't agree on something they said? That is not normal. And they are normalizing this. I've already played it. Let me play it again if I need to. Hold on. Here we go. Oh my God, there's a lot. Here we go. Ready?
He insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there, pulling up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
President Donald Trump.
Okay. So, when we have leaders doing that, instead of, taking some responsibility and maybe, telling these people that they're not, what they're doing is not right. And what I mean is the killers, the people that are out there trying to kill. I don't see this problem going away, and if it does go away, I don't see it going away for a very long time. And I'm gonna try my hardest to do my part and to come on here and spread awareness. But ladies and gentlemen, we're at war, and you might think that I'm being dramatic, and you might think, oh, this guy's just, he's just upset and whatnot. But no, we're at war, and that doesn't mean I'm saying like, we need to get physical and we need to go and kill anybody. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying we are at war. America is at war, and we need help. Thank God for President Trump and what he's doing. Again, my thoughts go out to Charlie's family and his kids. I'm very, very sorry. You did not deserve this. Charlie Kirk, we all love you and we all will miss you. And I hope everybody had a good... not a good time, but I hope everybody got something out of my video that watched it. God bless you. God bless your families. And no matter what, we're all human. We all make mistakes, but we can redeem ourselves. Remember that.